I don't know about all of you, but I'm anticipating eagerly visiting Vrindavan during Kartik month. It's a wonderful absorption, even before Kartik month, is to be absorbed in going there. Very, very easy. I find it very easy for the mind become attracted to Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, the place of pastimes in Vrindavan. What to speak of being there. So anticipating being there, there's a nice verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar Devotion, where Rupa Goswami explains the bhakti process, bhakti rasa process, and he starts with explaining sadhana bhakti, and then the very next verse that begins the description of raganuga bhakti, he describes the importance of residing in Vrindavan, just as we know from Nectar of Devotion. There are 64 items. This is not from that list of 64 items of bhakti that are favorable. But of those 64, 5 are most potent, one of them being residing in a sacred place. So it's not that part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's describing the bhakti process, sadhana. And he says the same thing with Raganuga, as far as possible, reside in Vrindavan. And in Jiva Goswami, so that's what we're going to attempt to do this evening, visit Vrindavan, and specifically on the eastern side of the Jamuna River. We're going to go there first. And one of the reasons for going there first is on the eastern side of the river Jamuna is where Krishna made his appearance, being carried by the Vasudeva to the eastern side, by the side of Nanda and Jasoda. And Radharani made her appearance there. And she didn't appear in the prison house of Kamsa first. She just appeared in a place called Raval. Can you see this? Oh, there it is up there. Okay. The letters are small. Raval, or Ravala, means an influential landlord. That's the meaning. Whoop. Influential landlord. Now, the background of this picture should be moving, but it's not. It was. No, there it goes. Okay. Influential landlord. Now, who was Radharani's mother and father? Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. Vrishabhanu and Kirtida. And who was Radharani's grandmother? Mukhara. Mukhara. Woo! It keeps changing on its own. So Mukhara, after Krishna was born, Mukhara, the grandmother of Radharani, became the nurse of Mother Jasoda for caring for Krishna. Did you know that? Mukhara. Radharani's grandmother became Krishna's nurse. There must be a timer that's causing this to change, and I have to fix it. Okay. So Mukharavali used to be called. Then it became, when Vrishabhanu lived there, it became Ravala because he was a influential landlord. Now, the story goes, the history goes, that before, there it goes again, anyway, there's the structure that used to be there. I'm going to show you some photographs of, this is what it looked like before the pandemic. I'm going to show you what it looks like today too. Very simple. It's not commercialized and built up, and the place itself is simple. The people who reside there, they're very simple. The deities inside, often we go there when it's early in the morning, indication of a riverbed that was there. And today, somebody is there, an advanced party. They now have a little entryway with a gate. And the steps walking up now has a railing. And you go inside, this is the courtyard. Marble floor. It's the rainy season, so you see rain on the ground. And in the back, that's where the little temple is. And here's the deity, Radha and Krishna. And along with the deity of Radha and Krishna, look in the front, and you'll see not Lal Gopal, but Radha in her little baby feature crawling around at Raval. And they've done the back much differently than it. I've not been there seeing this, but they made a nice place where people can sit, a ghat, where you can imagine the river Jamuna used to flow. So it's undergone some changes. Vrishabhanu was a landholder and had many, many cows. And his dear, dear friend was Nanda Maharaj. And both of them had been married for some time and were very revered and respected by everyone, but Nanda had the position of king. How did Nanda get the position of king? His father, Parjanya, was the king. And his father was Shurasena, who was the king of all of Mathura. And Devamita was his father. So Devamita made his capital in Mathura. And the Mathura has a long history, going back to the time of Lord Ramachandra. Previous 2 yogas, it was a celebrated place. It was known as Madhupuri, became then later Mathura. And so the Solar dynasty, when it no longer made that its headquarters, became the headquarters of the Chandra dynasty. And Devamita was in that line. So Shurasena and his son, so he became the king in Mathura. He had 2 wives, a Vaishya wife and a Kshatriya wife. And from the Vaishya wife, Parjanya was born. I've not come across what her name was, but Vaishya wife, her friends, Nanda and Vrishabhanu.